Brianne is with us in Kansas. Is it Brianne? Is that correct?
It is Brianne. Thank you.
Sure. How can I help?
Well, thanks for taking my call. The reason I'm calling today is I own 3 small businesses. They are all located in an 18,000 square foot facility here in Kansas City. And to say the least, COVID has hit us painfully hard. And I can see that it affects me mentally, physically, everything. And I'm I've had to let go 50% of my staff. We're running on bones right now, just trying to keep the doors open. We got terrible news from our landlords this past week, and there's a lot of unknowns. So I just need to know, what should I do to help my employees through this time, help them. I can tell they have so much fear, and I just want to see how. I know I'm affecting them. How can I help them? What should I say to them? Should I be honest with them about everything? I feel like I should, but maybe I shouldn't. I don't know.
They often tell us on the airplane, when you got small kids, that you got to make sure you put your oxygen mask on first before you start taking care of them. And so you made a couple of statements here. I want to make sure that you are taking care of you in these moments. And then I'd like to refer back to Dave, if that's okay, how I've seen as a new employee to the Ramsey family, Dave and his executive team get up every Monday morning on a call to the entire all 1,000 of us, and gives us a real transparent yet hopeful yet honest view of what's going on, and here's the plan for today and for this week and what it looks like. So I'm going to recommend to you that you got to make a plan for every day. You've got to default to the things that keep you well and keep you whole. For me, that's making sure I get out and move and I eat right, and I'm connecting with people outside of my work that know me, that I have a relationship with, and that I'm connecting with the people inside my house. This thing will eat you alive, especially when you start having to do hard things like lay people off. And then you've got to focus on those few things you can control, which unfortunately for a lot of us are way fewer than we thought, right? And Dave, I'll let you lead your company.
As far as the folks on your team, they can handle bad news better than they can handle no news. Mm-hmm. And I wouldn't add drama. Your job is to remove drama, but tell the truth. And, we've shared with our team even some of our internal accounting numbers. This is how much cash we have. This is how much payroll costs. And when revenue turns down, here's the first things we will do. If revenue doesn't turn back up in time, here's the second things we will do. If that revenue doesn't turn back up in time, here's the third thing we will do. And here's what's going to happen. And so in your case, what I would say is this business is affected this way. This business, you got 2-3 businesses. They're probably different situations on revenue. And just look at those particular team members and go, guys, here's what's happening. Show them the chart. You can show them, and I love you guys, and I want to keep you. I wouldn't have hired you if I didn't want you here. And so I'm going to do everything I can for us to all survive this together. But even if we don't, you're going to hear the truth from me, and you're going to hear it early, and you're going to hear often. And I told our team 4 weeks ago, I said, one thing you won't be is surprised. You're going to know what's happening, and we are going to make calm, wise, deliberate decisions ahead of time, and then we're going to walk right down those flow-charted decisions unless something affects one of those flow charts. That's exactly what we're going to do, what we decided in the moment before the emergency comes on. The training kicks in when the plan kicks in when the emergency comes. And so, here's what's happening. Our landlord, we got bad news from them on this. We got this revenue stream here. As you know, we've already laid off this group. Here's what we're going to do next. I'm not taking pay. Here's what we're going to do then. You can just share with them, exactly what's going on, but don't add drama to it, and don't go, well, if President Trump doesn't get us back to work by May 2nd, it's all over. Because even though that might be playing in your brain, that's the adding drama. You just, John says when he used to do a lot of crisis work, when you're in crisis, facts are your friends. Just tell people what the facts are and tell yourself what the facts are. over and over and over and over again. We're sending out a newsletter every morning because our team's working from home, updating them on the number of tests that have been done for COVID, the number of cases, and the number of, by the way, the ones that had COVID are all healed, just as a good news for Ramsey people. But and we're updating everybody on what's going on because they were scared out of their brains on some of this stuff. And just take the drama out, tell people the truth, even if it's bad news. Because if you don't tell them what's going on, they're going to, in their brain, make it a whole lot worse than it is.
In the absence of data, we make up stories, right? And they're going to invent, and then they're going to attach morality to it. They're going to make you the bad person instead of just the message bearer.
Yeah, especially if there are certain personality types. There are certain personality types that there has to be a villain. There has to be a right and a wrong, and if I'm right, then you have to be wrong because I can't write my story otherwise. And that's an immature person, but there are personality types that lend themselves to that more often than not, and they have to write out a narrative. For instance, we've had people that used to work here, and it's such a wonderful place to work. If you don't work here anymore because you quit,
you got to have a villain, right? You got to have a negative narrative.
You can't. It has to be negative. You can't just go, well, they're good and I'm good. You have to go, oh, they must suck because I'm not there anymore. They must not really be. They must be a bunch of hypocrites because I'm not there anymore. And you have to make up crap and rewrite a narrative in your head instead of just going, you know what? They're not perfect. I'm not perfect. And we didn't see eye to eye, and I split the place.
There you go. And I think it's critical to remember that kids are this way in your house. Your employees are this way. When you're stressed and you are tense, people feel it on you.
Oh, they know it. You can smell it.
And so if you're not being transparent, then not only are you not helping them, but now they think you're not telling the truth. Right.
I mean, I even did a lesson in staff meeting on how we handle stress. And I told everybody, here's how I handle it. I get pissed off.
Right.
And here's how you handle it. Some of you get freaked out.
I eat gummy candy pathologically.
Yeah, but I mean, we just said, I told them, I remember teaching, you're either going to process as fear or you're going to process it as anger. And they're very, very similar emotions. And I did a lesson on it, from a leadership position to tell them. And I told them, look, if you're wondering how I'm going to react, I'm going to go ahead and tell you. I'm a hillbilly. I'm going to be pissed off about whatever it is. That's my default. I'm going to start there and probably end there, But when in doubt, hit something, and that's not necessarily right, but being afraid is not necessarily right. But I went ahead and told them what to expect from their leader, their imperfect leader, that this is how I'm going to react to these things. I'm going to try to be wise in the middle of it. But if you see me just really angry, that just means I'm stressed. If you see me really passionate, pissed off about, the president or the governor or whatever, it has nothing to do with anything. It's just how I process this stuff. The first thing I do is I have to hit it in the mouth, and then we figure it out from there. And some people go the other way. They go the fear way. And neither one's right, neither one's wrong. It's just the way people process it. And I did a lesson on it. It helped everybody understand, oh, yeah, that is kind of me. And I see how Dave does that. And that's why I don't understand him, because I'm not like him. And
as an employee, that was a gift, because now I know. Right? I've got the information that we need, and then I can go about my job.
Yeah, it's.
I don't have to concoct some wild story about why Dave's mad and why. I don't have to. And I haven't seen you mad at me, so.
Well, I wasn't mad at anybody. I'm just pissed about the whole thing.
That's right.
Just in general, I don't like fighting something I can't see.
Oh man, the unseen. It's driving me crazy.
So, hey, Brienne, it's a really good question. Thanks for letting us talk it through with you. And you're a better leader than you probably think you are, just because you knew to ask the question. You're self-aware.
Calm is contagious. Be honest.
There you go. Big time. So's fear. This is the Dave Ramsey Show.